Hello dear students, welcome to our next class. Today we are going to learn the poem The Ball Poem by John Berryman. John Berryman was an American poet and scholar. He was born in McAlester, Oklahoma. He was a major figure in American poetry in the second half of the 20th century, and he is considered as a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. His best known work is The Dream Songs. The poem, The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. Now let us read the poem. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning, well behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days. How to Stand Up by John Berryman. Let's go through the word meanings. Oh, there are other balls. The word suggests that the loss is not important enough to worry about. Shaking grief, sadness which greatly affects the boy. Rigid, stiff. To intrude on, here, to enter a situation where no one is welcome. A dime, 10 cents in the US. Desperate, hopeless. Epistemology of loss, understanding the nature of loss, what it means to lose something. And the word epistemology, the Greek word episteme means knowledge. It comes from a word meaning to understand, to know. Epistemology is the study of the nature of knowledge itself. Now let us see what the poem is about. The poet says the boy has lost a ball. He says that the ball was cheerfully jumping up and down in the street, bouncing, and then merrily over there. That means in the water. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? So in the first, you can see the poet is asking a question, because the poet sees a boy, little boy, from whose hand the ball has fallen, and the ball has skipped down the street, bouncing and then falling in the water. So he sees a little boy, and so he wants to know what will happen to the boy now and how he is going to react, because his ball has gone away now. The ball with which he plays, his favorite ball. So the poet wants to see the reaction and what the boy is going to do. The poet also sees the ball falling off from the hands of the little boy, and how the ball went down the street bouncing, and then it landed in the water. The poet says that there was no use of telling the boy that there are other balls. What happens to the boy? He is shaken with grief. It fixes him. He is shaking in sorrow, crying, and he stands rigid, fixed, not moving, because he is seeing the ball, his favorite ball, in the water, and he cannot do about it. He cannot do anything about it. He's staring down there at the ball and he is remembering all the fond memories, all the fond times that he had spent with the ball. All the time that he had played with the others, using that ball with his friends, his cousins, his brothers and sisters. So there is a lot of memory attached to that small ball. So the boy is feeling really sad that he has lost the ball, which is actually a very small thing for us adults. But for a small boy, it was something really big. So he was feeling very sad and he was staring down at that ball in the water, which he could not do anything about. He could not take back the ball. So his first sorrow of losing something, and he is staring there fixed because he cannot do anything about it. So sorrow in his heart and not being able to do anything about it. For us it's a minor thing, but for the small boy it's a big thing. Hello dear students, today we will do the lesson Tea from Assam, written by Arup Kumar Dutta. Now let us know about the author. Arup Kumar Dutta is an Indian writer and journalist who lives out of Assam but is from Assam. He has written 16 books for adults and 17 adventure novels for young people. In 2014, he was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Honor by Association of Writers and Illustrators for Children, New Delhi, the Indian chapter of the International Board of Books for Young People. He has also won numerous awards, including the Shankars Award in 1979, conferred to mark the International Year of the Child. He has been awarded the Civilian Award Padma Shri by Government of India in 2018. Now let us go to the story Tea from Assam. So the title itself tells you, where does tea come from? Assam. Of course, there are other places in India where you can get tea, like West Bengal. Where in West Bengal? Darjeeling. There are many other places too. Then in this story you will find two friends, Pranjal and Rajbir. Pranjal is from Assam. Rajbir is not from Assam. Pranjal's friend is Rajbir, who has come with Pranjal to Pranjal's home in Assam. Where does Pranjal live in Assam? He lives in a tea estate, and Pranjal studies in Delhi. So to spend the summer vacation, Rajbir comes to Pranjal's house in Assam and he comes to explore the tea estates of Assam and Assam as well. Now the scene starts at a railway station, and the first words which we can read are chai garam garam chai. Generally in a railway station this is a very common sight. You will find vendors selling teas, shouting garam chai, chai garam, and then they give very innovative names like ram pyare chai, very funny names which are nice to hear as well. Train journey is very interesting. If you have traveled by train, you will know it. You will find interesting people, you will find the different vendors, the way they sell their things. Okay, now let's get back to the lesson. So a tea vendor asks Pranjal and Rajbir if they want to have tea, and they buy tea from the chai wala or the tea vendor, and you can read that all the people in the compartment are drinking tea. Then Rajbir says that 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world, and Pranjal responds that tea is very popular. As the train moved out of the station, Pranjal continued reading his detective book. Rajbir is also fond of detective stories, but since he was traveling first time to this part of the country, he was more interested in looking at the scenery of this part. What did he see? He saw greenery everywhere. There were green trees, there were green paddy fields, and then there were green tea gardens everywhere. Rajbir had never seen so much of greenery before. So Rajbir was really amazed and he was enjoying the natural scenic beauty of Assam. When you travel by train, you can see the natural scenic beauty of all the places, of all the regions that you cross. You can do this only when you are traveling in a train, but when you are traveling on a flight, you cannot. So you can see the landscapes changing. Some are dry, some have different kinds of trees, some are green, some are wet. So Rajbir was also seeing these change in landscape, and then so he was now enjoying the greenery of Assam and the natural scenic beauty of Assam. Rajbir also saw hills, green hills, and then he saw sea of tea bushes. That means there were acres and acres of tea gardens stretched, and then he saw tall trees in the tea gardens which shaded the tea bushes, and the tea bushes looked like dwarfs. And then at a distance, Rajbir saw an ugly building from where smoke was coming out of its tall chimneys. Then Rajbir was excited and he told Pranjal, "Hey, a tea garden!" Pranjal, who has been born and brought up on a plantation, on a tea plantation, was not so excited like Rajbir. So he did not share the same kind of excitement. So he tells to Rajbir simply that, "Oh, now you are in the land of tea, or you are in the country of tea. Assam has the largest concentration of plantations in the world. So he will have enough of tea gardens to last him a lifetime." He tells this to Rajbir.